Hello and welcome. My name is Adil Marcy, and today I have someone very special for you to meet. His name is Jared Lazaro, and he is an offline marketing legend by all accounts. Literally, he will get 5 to 6 sales from just a leads list of 12 people that he would personally call, and they pay him minimum 4 figures just for him to help them. Like, literally, this guy can pull like 5 figures out of his butt if he wanted. But without further delay, here's Jared explaining exactly what we have for you today.
When I was looking for something to offer, I wanted something that made sense for everybody who was here. I have a lot of friends in internet marketing. I usually try and stay as underground as possible. As far as the Warrior Forums go, I did one webinar that I helped facilitate in September of last year. That's really been my extent of it. I know that there are a lot of people who are in the industry who do a lot of good product launches and a lot of good stuff out there. My reason for doing it is slightly different. I see a lot of good information in there. Absolutely, there's some great stuff all the time. There's some crappy stuff too. We know that's going to happen. That's just life. But I don't see a whole lot of information about how you guys can start closing offline. And it is immediately impactful if you can do something like that. If you can grab the business and do the work outside of internet marketing, it may be more efficient to send out 1,000,000 emails and get all that stuff done. But if you can have 5 good conversations and get 3 checks for it, that's a day maker right there. So what I wanted to do was put something in there that was kind of unique, and since it's my first offering, I want to do something definitely unique. I know that's probably breaking a whole bunch of rules about how you function on this stuff, but that's kind of how I want to roll with this. I want to make sure that you guys get an offer that makes sense for you and that helps other people at the same time. So what I'm doing is I'm putting together a guidebook that's going to be in there. It's going to be in a PDF or ebook format, pretty straightforward. But it's going to teach you about what not to say whenever you're trying to open new business and offline, what you can do to close, and how simple to make it. There's also going to be a small section in there about how to start getting active referrals from people, how to start getting your clients to bring you business that makes sense. And also there's going to be a simple swipe email in there so you can start sending it out to your customers and start getting them to call you on the phone about closing business with you. Because if you can teach people how to do some of this stuff, you can get a check from them by having them work with you directly. And I know people are icky, and I know that like humanity is messy and it's all this sort of stuff. I do this basically as my default business. I'm really only on the phone. I'm really only on Skype, and if I'm not on there, I'm cracking jokes inside of private groups for internet marketers on Facebook. I mean, I have a shitty website. I don't do anything that's really like internet marketing related. I don't even build a list because I have a Rolodex, and I can make the calls. And this might seem easy for some people where, yeah, you can do it, that's all fine. Part of the reason why I'm doing this too is because I never started out this way. I'm an introvert. I choose my battles very carefully. I don't go to events normally, typically because when I show up at an event, I never actually get inside of it. And there are friends in the industry who will tell you this too. Like, I went to one event last year where literally 90 seconds inside of the room, never learned a damn thing, and then spent the whole rest of the time outside taking down contracts and closing business with individuals who were there. I have done this pretty much my entire career outside of internet marketing and helping out good people put good products together and writing good copy and stuff. So I've got some experience with it. It's not my first rodeo, but it is the thing where it's a learned experience. It's the thing you have to apply yourself on. And there's a lot better checks out there if you can, with confidence and assertiveness, get on the phone and close. Because those checks are the ones that make your payday. Those are the ones that they don't talk about. There's everybody who talks about an internet marketing where you blast this out and then you make $1,000,000 in hookers and blow. And good for those guys. And that's totally awesome. This isn't really about that. What this is about is how do you start closing business where you can quietly and decisively turn out a decent 6-figure income. When I get on the phone, if I'm doing coaching, if I'm doing consulting on a product launch, if I'm doing any of that stuff, if I get on the phone, that's a $3,000 phone call for me. And that's good business, and I don't have to work as much. That's the kind of dream that we want, but it's going to mean a little bit of effort on your part. It's going to mean you're going to have to actually, I don't know, touch humanity and get on the phone. Not, touch humanity in a negative fashion, but you get the idea. You're going to have to start reaching out to people. We're seeing email response rates drop. We're seeing CTR drop. We're seeing, though, that if you can send a decent email, like the swipe that I'm going to put in there for you, referrals go from 2% to 8%, and that's an actual solid statistical number. We're seeing where You can close offline business with local businesses that don't understand SEO, that don't understand how to do good email marketing, that don't understand what a crappy website does to their productivity, their level of sales, what that means to them as a business. And we do know how to do this. And this has always been a thing for internet marketing for me that has been really exciting, that you guys can turn an idea into actual equity. But to get the bigger ones, sometimes you got to get your hands dirty, and sometimes you got to get in the ring and you got to close. And it doesn't matter if you're, the guy who literally can't tell a joke without stepping on it, or if you're the guy who can't, I don't know, pick up a phone to save your life beyond like texting your mom. Like, this is a thing where you can do it with confidence and make sense while you're doing it. This is a thing where you can start closing some larger checks, good clients, active referrals, meaning they bring you business by default. And that's kind of the holy grail for everybody as far as like working with small business owners are concerned, where you're getting consistent, predictable, reliable checks. Not the jokes that everybody talks about where it's like I push button email and it's my ATM machine. I know some of these guys. That's cool and that's their business. But I also know those guys can get on a phone and make stuff happen. And that's one of the secret keys to doing these things is actually you are going to end up connecting at the end of the day, whether or not it's a JV, whether or not it's going to be like, how do I find the good web developer who can put my OP together or who can put like a DApp backend. Those are the things that you have to be able to do with confidence as well. And those are all essential tools to the business. So at the end of the day, your ability to follow up and make the calls and not stress about it and get the work done, that's going to make a serious dent in your internet business. That's what I want to be able to bring to you. It's not going to be rocket surgery. It's just going to be an ebook. And what we're going to do is, for all the JVs who are promoting out, it's going to be 75% for them, 25% the one that's left. And it's not, hookers and blow levels of money, okay? It's just an ebook. But we're going to donate 20% of that to the Blind Children's Center in Los Angeles. That's where my little sister went to school. That's where she started learning how to become a productive member of society. And I want to start doing that on a regular basis where if I'm going to step into the arena with you guys, and I love some of the stuff that I've seen in here, just amazing. Like on arbitrage alone, I bought like a $10 dime sale PDF that literally I can hand off to somebody else and they can turn out their first grand. And that came out of the Warrior Forums. And I know you guys have good information. So I want to make it simpler for you guys. I want to make something that makes sense. This is what that's about for you. And we're going to be donating to charity so you can feel good at the end of the day. And we're not capturing emails or throwing anybody into a funnel. It's just going to be very straightforward. Buy it. There's going to be an OTO on the back end where I'm going to be doing a 90-minute webinar as well. And on the 90-minute webinar, Edel's going to host for me. We're just basically going to walk through everything that you need to do and the 10 things you should never say when you meet a prospect. And we're going to talk about like how you can start opening conversations with confidence, even though like you maybe wanted to vomit or crap your pants whenever you walk into a social situation. How you can start delivering with confidence by taking confidence in what you do. And believe you me, like after 1,500 different businesses that I've worked with, surveyed, interviewed, helped on the ground, everything from like the shingle hanger who starts his own law practice as like a desk in his office, all the way up to Fortune 500 companies like Sprint and AIG, forget those guys. But major companies, I worked with Blizzard at one point for a year. I've worked literally all over the world on this stuff. And I do it by doing it on the phone, by getting in front of people and buying a cup of coffee, by getting on Skype and making things happen. And this is how I'm able to live how I live, which is I work when I want, where I want, with whom I want, whenever I want, as much or as little as I want. I don't have a whole lot of big needs. I'm not going to like try and like blow smoke up your ass about like how it's all like rockets and amazing and dancing pandas and fireworks, okay? But I get to choose, and I think at the end of the day, that's just as important is when you choose, you can get on the phone and make stuff happen. When you choose, you can get all of your customers who are out there right now to not only give you their phone number, but want to give you a check. Those are things that make the kill, and that's what I want to bring to you.